Welcome to Disney Plus Rivals. If you love Jilly Cooper, you'll know what you're in for. If you've never even heard of Jilly Cooper, oh my God, prepare to heat up. You won't need to switch your heating on this winter. Watch Rivals. And if you want to know what I think about it, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button. Dame Jilly Cooper is the most magnificent novelist. She lit up the 80s, and her novels are full of steamy, rumpy-pumpy, how's your father, getting your leg over, getting your rocks off, incredible copious amounts of alcohol is drunk. There are lovely dogs everywhere. There are roaring fires. There are stately piles set in the Cotswolds, which she used to call rupture because everyone was rutting. Rutting is another word for shagging, effing, beeping, doing it. Everyone was doing it. Everyone was doing it to somebody else's wife or husband or brother or uncle or daughter, often all at the same time. The novels were sensational, and Dame Jilly Cooper is the most delightful person. She's one of the few people I've ever interviewed in my entire career who was so polite that she wrote me a thank you letter for interviewing her, and it was just my job. I was just doing my job. She's the most delightful person, and she is unashamedly and fiendishly keen on sex, and so am I. Rivals, Jilly Cooper, this television incarnation. It is absolutely sizzling. It is salacious. It is sexual. It is sensual. It is throbbing with unbridled shagging at all moments of the day, night, in the middle of a field, in a coppice, in the downstairs lavatory, the upstairs lavatory, on Concord. You can see quivering buttocks all over the place. Lots of male members. I'm very keen on the male member. I'm very happy to see. I only had a sister, never any brothers. You know, I was delighted to see a male member, beautifully lit, hanging, swinging in the breeze, absolutely magnificent. Bosoms, bottoms, testicles, the whole thing all going on. It's absolutely sensational. And the star of the whole shebang is Rupert Campbell-Black, played by Alex Hassell. Now, he smoulders and he exudes testosterone and pheromones, and he is just absolutely up for it at all times with absolutely everyone, especially other people's wives and daughters. Everyone fancies him. At the very mention of his name, everyone goes weak, and you will feel exactly the same. This is perfect casting. Alex Hassell, would I? Oh, would I? Oh my God, of course I would. The opening scene of Jilly Cooper's Rivals on Disney Plus, and this is not a spoiler alert because it starts before you've even seen any of the show at all, is an absolutely fantastic, what we used to call in the 80s, knee trembler. A knee trembler, which means an full unbridled shag in the loo at Concord. So you're on Concord, it's more than a mile high, it's several miles high. And when the final moment of mutual ecstasy, the shuddering, the gasping, the rapture, the climax occurs, yes, the whole Concord first class erupts into enormous applause. And of course, the culprit, the shagger extraordinaire, is Rupert Campbell-Black, played by Alex Hassell. And when he swaggers out of the lavatory, there's just pulsating, throbbing desire for him emanating from every woman and quite a lot of men who quite like that sort of thing, as he simply takes not the walk of shame, but the walk of pride down the aisle of Concord. It's just fabulous. And that is how the show begins, in tremendous style, with tremendous oomph, and with a hell of a lot of sex. Just great. So the other character that we're really interested in is Declan O'Hara, played by Aidan Turner. So obviously very easy on the eye, as you can imagine. Now, Declan O'Hara is a sort of combination, I think, of Michael Parkinson and Terry Wogan, the big talk show hosts of the 80s. And Aidan Turner, playing Declan O'Hara, has just moved to a local television station, very similar to the one I used to work at, which was Anglia TV, and it really looks the same, it feels the same. And is he going to win and woo the audience with a kind of freestyling, fabulously hot, talk show. And to that end, there he is. They've won him. They've got him in the countryside, and he's there now in a big stately pile in the Cotswolds with his wife and 2 daughters. And his wife is played by Victoria Smurfit. And from the very beginning, we wonder, is she a nymphomaniac? Is she just kind of sexually licentious? She's beautiful. She's frustrated. She looks at this beautiful stately pile and thinks it's a prison. And then she looks at Rupert Campbell-Black as if she's seen the most scrumptious ice cream cone, and she wants to lick him up and down. So the local TV station, which reminds me of Anglia TV, where I used to work in Norwich, is called Corinium. And the boss of this station is Lord Badingham. And Lord Badingham is played by David Tennant. Honestly, he is magnificent in the role. He's got a cigar clamped between his teeth. He's not a public school boy like Rupert Campbell-Black. He's just a humble grammar school boy, so he's forever sort of making up for his social inadequacies. Rupert Campbell-Black won't let him forget that he's basically middle class, and he's not upper class or upper middle class, not an aristocrat, not as he is. And he is absolutely determined to grind Rupert Campbell-Black into the dust. But everybody else just wants to grind Rupert Campbell-Black. So in episode 1, we meet Lizzy. Now, Lizzy is played by Katherine Parkinson from the IT Crowd. And I think she's meant to be us, or maybe she's meant to be Dame Jilly Cooper. But she's kind of the person that we can identify with most because she seems thoroughly nice. And obviously we think we're nice. She's a thoroughly decent woman. She's a writer. She's kind. And she's married to a really unpleasant presenter on Corinium TV who's really got a red hot poker up his arse. He thinks he's absolutely great. He's jealous of Declan O'Hara. He's really kind of boring and narcissistic. We don't like him, but we love Lizzy. So our eyes are on Lizzy because if Lizzy doesn't like someone, we don't like someone. If Lizzy does, we do. And she's a thoroughly good sort. The other person we love in the show is Bella McLean from Sex Education, who plays Agatha, known as Taggy, Declan O'Hara's elder daughter. And she is in a constant state of either interrupting other people having sex or doing something or other that absolutely conflicts with country life, like calling the fire brigade when actually what they're doing is burning off the superfluous crops, or spilling a pavlova all over somebody when she's serving food at a dinner party. And she's absolutely simmering with repressed sexual desire. You can tell that she's desperate to have carnal knowledge of Rupert Campbell-Black, just as everyone else is. She keeps on seeing him shagging someone else, playing naked tennis with someone else. And then there's this incredible moment, which I will not give you because I don't want to do a spoiler, but she is lovely. We love her, but we're worried for her. We're a bit concerned. We know that she's fish out of waterish in the country. We know that her mother's totally out of control. And we know that there's some kind of chemistry going on between her and Rupert Campbell-Black. But we want Taggy to be okay. And we hope that Lizzy is looking after her. But she's our favourite. What do I think of Rivals on Disney Plus? Oh my God, I love it. I remember the 80s. I was there. I was dressing like that. Was I shagging like that? Would I tell you that? And I'm a respectable grandma of 4. I'm not going to tell you that, but boy, do I remember the Mile High Club very fondly. I really do. I don't want to tell you whether I was a fully paid up member or not. But you know, you kind of had to be in a way. Do I remember TV studios that were just like Corinium? Yes, I do. Do I remember knee tremblers? Do I remember all of the joy of unbridled 80s sex? Yes, I do. And do I remember finding Jilly Cooper an absolute turn on then? Yes, I do. And am I massively aroused by watching Rivals? Yes, but it's also funny. It's funny, it's charming, it's boisterous, it's fueled by tons of alcohol. I love the clothes, I like the cars, I absolutely love the soundtrack. The music is fantastic. You will love the music. If you're a child of the 80s, an adult of the 80s, if you wish you were, you'll feel as though you are. It is such good fun, this program. It is exactly what my heart has been desiring. I love it. I cannot recommend it highly enough. And as I say, it would be nice to find somebody to let rip with afterwards so that you are not just completely convulsed by sexual desire with no outlet. That's what I would say. Thank you for watching Vanessa on Rivals. Do leave your comments. I'd love to know whether you found it exactly as enjoyable as I did. Do press subscribe and don't miss our second episode on episode 2.